Hey class, happy Wednesday. It's Maestra Rodriguez here. Are you ready for this week's art challenge? Great, here it is. It's an origami magic circle. And I hope you're ready to make one too. Here we go. Alright, first things first. Supplies. You're going to need paper, scissors, and glue. I'm using a liquid glue, but if you have a glue stick, that'll work too. And I also have colored pencils and a Hostess cupcake, but you don't need that. That's not necessary. I just needed a snack. Before you do use the scissors, please make sure you ask an adult's permission. Alright, first step I took was cutting my papers into squares. I use 4-inch squares. You can use smaller, bigger, depending on how big you want your circle. After, I decided to color in my squares because I don't have colorful paper. I only had white paper, so I used colored pencils. If you want to use colored pencils, you can use those or crayons. I wouldn't recommend using markers though. Now that you have 5 squares, you're going to take the first one, fold it upward in half. You're going to do the same thing, fold it again in half, making sure it's nice and even and nice and tight. You want really nice creases. You're going to fold it in half again, upward again. Nice and tight creases. Now this next fold is going to be a little bit different. You're going to be folding down, the top half down. Make sure it's nice and tight. And then you're going to flip it over. You have that extra piece and you're going to fold it upward in half. Now that you have those nice creases, you're going to unfold it. Make sure your creases are vertical. And then you're going to fold your paper in half again, upward. And you're going to fold the top half in half downward, meeting your crease in the middle. Making sure it's nice and tight. You're going to flip it over and do the same thing. Making sure that's nice and tight, a nice crease. And now you're going to have this M shape. And you're going to kind of follow those creases that you made earlier. I'm sure you've made an origami fan before, so it's a little bit similar. Following those creases. So now you have this little fan. Next you're going to pull each layer out. So you're starting with the first one. It's a little difficult. I know I had a lot of trouble with it, because you're going to see me struggle through this. So try separating that one layer. And then you're going to keep following those creases. Try not to lose your nice creases that you made. And then what's going to look like the letter V, you're going to have that. And then you're going to do it again on the other side. Fold it back together. And then you're going to flip it over. And kind of pull apart the edges a little bit. And you're going to have that nice letter M. Alright, so I'm going to show you one more time. It's going to be a little bit faster, but if you need to, you can rewind this video, watch it over, watch it multiple times. So, this is my last one. Again, doing all the folds that we need. We have our nice creases. Now we're going to get to that little bit where we're doing our fan. We're pulling all the layers out. And voila, we have all our little ends. So now I'm going to start gluing all our little pieces together. Not using too much glue because I don't want it to ooze out the sides. Like I said, you could use liquid glue or you can use a glue stick. I just use this because it's a little bit easier for me. I'm going to try to hold that together for a little bit. Make sure it stays. And then we're going to repeat that a couple times until we have all of our pieces glued together. So now that we have all our pieces glued together, we're going to close the circle. So we're going to glue one of the ends. Make sure we connect it carefully. We don't want to rip apart what we already glued. You're going to hold that for a few seconds, make sure it stays. Then you got to play the waiting game, make sure it's nice and dry, make any last minute adjustment, add some pressure to make sure it stays better. And there you have it. That's your magic circle. Start pulling from the inside out. Looks pretty cool. If you want, maybe add some designs onto your squares before you start to make it look a little cooler. But thanks for joining us for our Wednesday challenge. Look out for another video next Wednesday, and hopefully you enjoyed your origami magic circle. Stay well, and thanks again for joining in, class.